Thank you. At this time, please remain standing. We have Mr. Taylor and members of the chorus who will lead us in the national anthem.
Be careful, David.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much. At this time, I would like to introduce our superintendent, Dr. James Cerruta.
Good evening and welcome. It's my pleasure to have the opportunity to take a few moments this evening and speak to such a positive, exciting audience. To get started, though, I'd like to first welcome some of our board members that are here this evening. Certainly appreciate all the good work that they do. They volunteer to help us as an administration and the faculty and parents keeping the district to move forward. We have with us tonight Mr. Kevin Zimmerman, who's our board president. Mr. Zimmerman, Ms. Catherine Browning is here representing Springfield. And in the audience, I know Marshall Mohina is here with Marshall. And Marshall is here with Myra, who's also our PTSC president. So welcome. I hope I didn't miss any other board members. They're my boss, and it's not good if I miss them. Are there any other board members out there this evening? Okay, good. I'd also like to point out that there are some very important people here this evening. We have our school administration. You very briefly met Dr. Lopez, our high school principal. We have with us tonight academic directors and an amazing faculty. So if the faculty administration would just stand up very quickly for a moment and be recognized, I want to thank you all for participating in such an exciting evening. These are our administrators and faculty. Thank you. We do say that without our faculty, without the administration, we really couldn't be here, and certainly without the parents and family members that are here supporting the students. That's why they make such tremendous strides and tremendous accomplishment. I'd also be remiss if I didn't recognize the fact that we are here on Joint Base. We have a very strong partnership with the Joint Base. I've always appreciated and respected that. They welcome us here this evening. Many of our community members who maybe don't get a chance to get on base come out to events like this. The Joint Base offers the facilities here at no cost to the school district. The meals and everything is very, the prices are very respectable, and they really make it work for the school. So I want to thank the base leadership and Joint Base for making this evening possible here on Joint Base. And also, I need to ask all active military, all retired military, and all first responders that are here this evening If you would please stand and be recognized, we'd all like to thank you for what you do every day. And Mr. Taylor in the choir, excellent this evening, thank you. I still stand ready to serve as a member of your choir anytime you are desperately in need of a voice, because I can't sing to save my life, but it looks like it's fun up there. Thinking of this evening's opportunity to speak to you folks, I understand that, here tonight are family members, parents, students, administration, faculty, board members. I thought it'd be nice to make a connection between Northern Burlington's academic profile, who we are as a school academically, and the special students who are being recognized here this evening. I realized as I reflected on what I wanted to talk about tonight that the students here tonight being recognized, you are our academic profile. You create what we define as our school system. But first, I thought I'd tie in, more recently at a board level, actually over the weekend, there was some conversation through emails about a documentary called Race to Nowhere. And I don't know if you've seen the documentary, but there was an opportunity to go out and view the documentary. Some board members got into some conversations, and we talked about it a little bit over email. What's being discussed in the documentary is this. Vicki Abels, in her research, she contends that through the testimony of educators and parents and education experts, it reveals an education system in which cheating has become commonplace, students have become disengaged, stress-related illness, depression, and burnout are rampant, and young people arrive at college and the workplace unprepared and uninspired. So the question for the weekend, between superintendent and board members are, does this describe Northern Burlington? And what better opportunity to take up this topic, but then at an assembly like this? Are the students here this evening racing to nowhere? And I would contend absolutely not. I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what the data and the facts speak to. These students, when you look at our profile, you're the reason why Northern Burlington has been named to the AP National Honor Roll from College Board for the last 4 years in a row. So congratulations, folks. The work that you do in the AP Honor Roll is incredible. And I know Mr. Coleman's here tonight who's helped coordinate that program. I took a look at our profile. We offered, in 2016, we offered 22 AP courses. There were 454 AP tests taken, and over 80% of our students who are taking these AP tests are scoring a qualifying score of 3 or above. And let me tell you this as well. Here are some of the tests where our students scored 5. Calculus AB, Calculus BC, Chemistry, Computer Science, English Language Composition, English Language Literature and Composition, Music Theory, Physics 1 and 2, Physics C, which is electricity and magnetism, Physics C, Mechanics. I could go on and on, I just don't want to leave anyone out. Spanish Language and Culture, Statistics, Studio Art, U.S. History, Government and Politics, World History. Our students are scoring 5s in these tests. In some of the colleges that our students go to, we know that our students are going to the top tier colleges in the United States. I can't possibly read them all, but Auburn University, Baylor University, Drexel University, Duke University, Brigham Young, Johns Hopkins, Northeastern, Ohio State, Purdue, Ivy League schools like Princeton, Penn, Cornell, Villanova, MIT. I could go on and on and on. Top schools in the country. So moms and dads and family members, your students that are here tonight being recognized, those are the opportunities that they have. You students are the ones that are defining our academic profile, and I just want to tell you how pleased and excited I am. Are you folks racing to nowhere? Absolutely not. You know where you're going and you know why you're going there. And if it's not a college, if it's a military service, whatever it is, we're proud of you. So that's my speech tonight. These students get it. I want to thank the parents and the families for the support you give every day. At Northern Burlington, we inspire the desire, and we're not racing to nowhere. In fact, the direction is clear and our students cross the finish line in first place. So enjoy your evening. Listen to how your sons and daughters are being described by these faculty members. I love the presentations that they make, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the evening. Thank you very much.
At this time, while you're enjoying your salads, we would like to honor those students. We'd like to have you come up for high honor roll with distinction. So you're going to come up this way, up on the stage. We'll do 11th grade first and then 10th grade. And then you're going to go over there and have your picture taken. So Miss Mungo and Mr. Bennett will issue your certificates. I'd like to start with Madison Comiskey. Thank you for following the directions. Vedant Dopti. Nicholas DiGirolamo. Dalton Hutchinson was unable to be here this evening, but I just would like to recognize him. Brianna Engling. Ryan Kabaha. Nicholas Kester. Devin Lippincott. Alexander Marinick. Marissa Mojena. Brett Morrow. Decker Morrow. Abdullah Shob. Taylor Veerling was also recognized but unable to be here this evening. And finally, John Wainwright, who was also unable to be here this evening. Congratulations to our 11th grade high honor roll with distinction winners.
All right, guys, we're going to go down and take your picture down there, okay? Follow Mr. Pulley.
And now we would like to start with grade 10. It's a larger group. Garrett Ballinger. Megan Bongilan. Ikansh Barty. Anjani Babsar. Jenna Booth. Michaela Brutnell. Erica Buscanera. Catherine Deeker. Joshua Edwards. Rachel Enriquez. Jenna Guevara. Elena Guzman.
This first one is Jenna.
Derek Hubbard. Megan Hughes. Shane Engling. Colette Janney. Anusha Kashireddy.
No, they should just stand in front of them. Stand in front, guys. Make a second row. Make a second row.
Madison Martinez. Lindsay Mitchie. Rohit Narayanhan. Carson Norway. Isabel Oko. Savnik Patel. Catherine Perrone. Bhavya Fogat. Madison Plotkin. Anne Reed. Perry Emil Santos. Jill Shaw. Jaskaran Singh. Vani Singh. Ava Wiener. Julia Woodworth. And Nicolina Zappoli. This is the second night out for many of these students because last night we had our World Language Honor Society induction, and as I'm going through the list, I see that most of these children were there last night. So congratulations, you are true scholars.
And somehow, you're going to go down there and he's going to arrange to have your picture taken. I'm not quite sure how. So,
Before we continue, and they're going to be bringing out the dinners, I saw Alex Marinick come in, so if you could please come up and receive your certificate for High Honor Roll with Distinction for grade 11. I know you were at a golf function. Come on up. You gotta get your picture too. So just let them know. I know you're eating. But at this time, we would like to get started, and it's my pleasure to introduce the Director of Instruction, Ms. Courtney McNeely, who will introduce the English and Social Studies departments. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It is certainly my pleasure to invite the wonderful teachers from the English department to the stage tonight. Please help me welcome Mrs. Kate Lasko, Mrs. Suzanne Solo, and Mr. Ryan Foley.
Good evening, parents and honorees. My name is Ryan Foley. I am now in my 10th year teaching English here at Northern Burlington. And I'm here on behalf of Catherine Farley, who couldn't be here this evening, to award Crystal Kim the 9th grade department award. Catherine has given me a speech to read, so I would like to read that for you. Excuse me. Sometimes students stand out because of their words, and sometimes students stand out because of their actions. In this case, Crystal is one of those students whose actions show she is an exemplary student. Both Mrs. Lovejoy and Mrs. Farley had the pleasure of having Crystal in class this year, and in both words and actions, she has shown that she is a remarkably mature and responsible student. In times of need, she is the first to step up and lend a hand, something she does without being asked, and without looking for thanks or recognition. There are some students who are good students, but when presented with an opportunity to slack off and get away with it, they will. Crystal isn't that kind of student. She's the type that would find the right thing to do and make sure she and those with her are doing it. Academically, Crystal excels, and Mrs. Farley is consistently impressed with her writing as well as her insights into the materials the class is reading. Mrs. Farley knows she has developed a respect for the world of language and literature. It is a pleasure for Mrs. Farley to have Crystal in her class, and I am honored to be here to present her with the English Department's 9th grade Scholars Night Award on her behalf. Thank you. Crystal?
If I were to create a meme about my honoree, it would say, one does not simply read the writing of Perry Santos. Perry, you can come up. Perry's writing is akin to virtual reality. He's able to take the reader to places near and far through his adept use of vivid language and precise prose. As a student, Perry understands that gratitude can be a driving force to greatness. This young man has lived a lot of life in his 16 years, and his breadth of experience colors his world with a creativity and a passion that is infectious. One of the best parts of being an educator is meeting students along the journey that inspire you just as much as you hope to inspire them. Earlier this year, you know I have to mention Hamilton, Perry recommended that I listen to the popular musical soundtrack, Hamilton. Of course. One of the themes in the production asks us to consider, when my time is up, have I done enough? Will they tell my story? Well, Perry, I think anyone that knows you would agree that you are already writing a story that is worth telling. So, as you continue to write like you're running out of time, and perfect your skill with the quill. Never forget that you are inimitable and you are an original. Congratulations to this year's recipient of the Award for Excellence in English, Perry Santos.
Though there is no single answer to the question, how long does it take to form a new habit, scientists will grudgingly offer 66 days as the average. Somehow I think bad habits form a lot faster. What about breaking a habit? Less time? More time? Psychologists say that to break a habit, one must find a replacement behavior. Therein lies the problem for me. Over these last 2 years, I have become habituated to Allison Ricks. There will be no replacement, one of the few certainties of the ages. Like exercising, she delivers oxygen to the brain, clearing the cobwebs. Like dieting, she cuts through the fat, excising stale thinking. Like painting, she assaults her paper canvas, coloring with words that coalesce into memorable narratives and powerful arguments. And finally, like a rich, dark cup of morning coffee and a sinfully fattening chocolate donut, she makes me smile. I am proud to present this year's Junior Award for Excellence in English to Allison Ricks. I guess she couldn't come.
And now I would like to introduce, Miss Courtney McNeely will do the social studies.
Good evening again. The Social Studies Department tonight is represented by Mr. Joe Coleman and Mrs. Michelle Van Skyber.
Excellence is striving for quality in all we do. Those yearning for this standard take their time, work hard, persevere, and not only enjoy, but thrive on the challenges encountered along the way. This year's 9th grade Social Studies Award winner, Alvin Alex, is no exception. Come on up, Alvin. His maturity and keen insight allow him to recognize AP World History as a remarkable discipline, one where he excels at identifying and analyzing both minute details and major trends, makes frequent comparisons, notices connections amongst distant peoples, and thoroughly explains causes and effects. His depth of knowledge and application of historical thinking skills are impressive in and of themselves. However, they pale in comparison to the pure enthusiasm that he brings to the classroom and beyond. Alvin takes meticulous notes, actively participates in class discussions, is a member of Northern's debate team, and has consistently been a dominant force in our weekly after-school Quizlet Live competitions. His command of the content reigns for all to see during these sessions. When it comes to Quizlet Live, he is King Alvin, as he truly rules the game. Congratulations, Alvin, on an outstanding year of global historical studies, and keep the hope of history forever in your heart.
The Social Studies Department Award for the class of 2019 goes to Derek Hubbard. To put it simply, and everyone in our class would agree, Derek knows a lot. Some might think he just has a knack for learning history or he just has a good memory. However, Derek's accomplishments this year show that he understands that history is much more than just remembering the past. Derek understands the complexity of history, works hard to comprehend the many different points of view that surround controversial events. He knows that you have to be able to communicate these complex ideas and works to develop his critical thinking and communication skills by being a member of our debate team, and he's also entered and won first place in the VFW's Voice of Democracy contest. Aside from this, Derek is probably the most informed sophomore I know when it comes to current events. We got to a point in class this year that when I wanted to make a connection between history we were studying and current events, I knew I could just ask Derek to explain it to the class, and he never let me down. On top of his academic accomplishments, Derek is a very kind young man, gets along well with all of his classmates, and helps to further the learning of everyone in the class. For all these reasons, I'm very pleased to present him with the Social Studies Department Award for 10th grade. I get to do two. The winner of the Social Studies Department Award for the class of 2018 is Nick DiGirolamo. It's very difficult to pick a winner because there are so many in this class who maintain averages in the high 90s throughout the year. Many of the students are here tonight receiving awards. They're all dedicated students who show genuine interest in learning our nation's history. They're all excellent writers with advanced critical thinking skills. Many of these students have spent hours with me after school further developing these skills on our debate team. And Nick shares all of these traits. The blessing of having so many outstanding students becomes a curse when it comes time to choose a department award winner. Nick made the decision possible, though, because of one trait he exhibited every day in the classroom, and that's curiosity. As a teacher, I've come to know students can only ask good questions when they're fully engaged with the topic being studied. Nick sat up front in the class. He has many interesting and insightful questions. I've had Nick for 2 years, and so I've come to know his mannerisms that he's going to exhibit as his curiosity overtakes him, even before his hand is raised. I do my best to answer his questions, but sometimes Nick's thinking is so insightful and complex, I don't have a good answer on the spot. And he'll send me home thinking and researching and learning more. And for that, I'm grateful for his gift of curiosity. I'm pleased to present Nick with the Social Studies Department Award.
Good evening. I'm Amy Stella, the Director of Instruction for Mathematics and Science. I'm pleased to present the members of the Mathematics Department this evening to present Computer Science and Math Awards, Mrs. Jill Stabile and Mr. Steve Malcolm, followed by the members of the Science Department, Mrs. Renee Ferrar, Ms. Kristen Cohen, and Ms. Kristen Batko.
Good evening. Mr. Malcolm and I are going to be handling all of the math awards, which means we're also doing the computer science awards. Between the two of us, we're going to be presenting 6 awards, so please bear with us. Computer Science Grade 9 Award goes to Shreyas Sithala, and I apologize if I butchered your name. Shreyas is a great student to have in class. In many ways, he represents the future of education. In 5th grade, he was doing work on the Khan Academy website, where he came across some computer science material. Only half interested, he clicked on a link, and before he knew it, he was engrossed in an online course in JavaScript. He continued in 6th grade to learn more programming, and by the time 8th grade rolled around, Shreyas was doing independent projects in C++. All this, and he doesn't even consider computer science to be his main thing. Someday, Shreyas hopes to become an astrophysicist. He will not only like to work in computer science per se, but he does anticipate having a lot to do with coding on his own, or at the very least, have a thorough understanding of how computer programs execute complicated algorithms to model physical systems for scientists. If anyone is up for such a task, Shreyas is. And in this undertaking, I wish him every success. So on behalf of Carlos Pavel, Shreyas, are you here?
This is also on behalf of Mr. Bovell. Computer Science, grade 10, Hunter Jordan. I'd like to recognize Hunter, who's been something of a hidden gem in class. For example, earlier in the year, Hunter might be found sitting at his station with his head looking down instead of at the screen. An observer could be forgiven for wondering, poor Hunter, is he not getting it? But then, if they were to go over and ask him how he's doing, he'd look up with a smile and explain, why, just fine. I've finished the project. Would you like to see it? By mid-year, some of Hunter's programs were even appeared on Google Classroom as he was used as the class exemplar. This way, students could take a look online what Hunter did to get ideas for their own projects. Hunter seems to have a natural interest in programming and may eventually consider working in a field where computer science is a major focus. But irrespective of where he ends up, he is sure to use his talents to great avail. Congratulations, Hunter. No, Hunter? Okay. Again, on behalf of Mr. Bovell. Oh, Hunter is here. Okay. Congratulations, Hunter. Congratulations. Thanks. Okay. Got too many awards here. All right. Again, on behalf of Mr. Bovell, Computer Science Grade 11, Roger Moore. Roger, you can come on up. All right. Roger is a hard worker who never complains about his workload. Whether he's behind or ahead, Roger sees to it that he makes consistent progress on his programs each and every time class convenes. Furthermore, Roger belongs to a shrinking circle of students who refuses to go online to see how something is done. Instead, Roger likes to work through the material himself. This way, he ensures he understands it. As a result, Roger has become a go-to guy in class. Students who sit by him know that if they, sorry, this font is really small. You need to work on that. Students who sit by him know that if they get stuck on a project, they can ask Roger for advice, and he will have an answer. This has been great for Roger, who, if it were left to him, would rather not be the center of attention. Although Roger enjoys computer science very much, he is not yet sure that he wants to pursue it as a career. He may instead go into medicine or specialize in radiology. Whether he builds computers with zeros and ones or he makes movies as 007, all of Roger's hard work will pay off. I have one more. This is actually mine. Mathematics grade 9 goes to Athira Ariat. It has been a privilege to have this young lady in my Honors Algebra 2 class this year. She is really a terrific person and with vast potential. I've been quite impressed with her strong aptitude, but more importantly, her work ethic, her thirst for knowledge, and inquiring mind. I have no doubts that she will be successful in her future endeavors. This has always been a difficult decision. I'm really fortunate to work with so many bright and wonderful young people. Here's my litmus test for determining a candidate for this award. When beginning to grade assessments or evaluations, I think to myself, which student do I grade first to check my key? And more often than not, I do find some errors in my work. And this year there was absolutely no doubt who I choose in that case. She is exceedingly careful and takes great pride in her work. In closing, I must add that in my 23 years of teaching, I've not had a student consistently ask more challenging and interesting questions than Athira. I suspect that will serve her well in the future, and I can't imagine a more deserving candidate this year. Congratulations, dear. Let's see. Yeah, we go. I get to go.
Okay, so you're going to notice a recurring theme here. The 10th grade mathematics award goes to Ava Wiener. I've had the honor and the privilege to have had Ava in honors pre-calculus this year. In the classroom, different students stand out for different reasons. Some are class clowns, others might share a common interest with you. To me, Ava stands out because she has such natural talents and such diverse interests. I've never had a student whose interests are in such traditionally opposite areas, yet who excels in everything. Ava's love of dance is obvious, both in the way she carries herself and in the dedication she exhibits in her frequent trips to New York for classes. As a native New Yorker myself, and someone who took ballet classes until her tweens, I'm in awe of the level of commitment that Ava shows. Her desire to excel in academics is equally as important to her. Ava is consistently at the top of my honors pre-calculus class, and what I have so enjoyed watching is that it not only comes easy to her, but that she really seems to enjoy the logical way that the math comes together. There's a secret among teachers that when certain students make an error on an exam, we often go back and double check our answer keys. Well, on that rare occasion when Ava has made a mistake, I know that's my cue to go back and check my key. In fact, just last week, I found myself checking my work against hers in running order. Luckily, we were both 100% correct. I'm going to miss having Ava in class next year. She's off to AP Calculus and AP Stats. I know she'll shine in both those classes, as she has for me this year. To her future teachers, enjoy having Ava in class. To her parents, be proud of all of her gifts. And to Ava, every once in a while, we get a special kind of student. You are that one-of-a-kind student. Continue to be the shining star that you are, and to work to be the very best that you can be. You have incredible talents, and I hope that you can dance your way to the stars. You have an amazing future ahead of you, one that I hope will not only include dance, but will also include math in a significant way. And just as a side note, math won't make your toes bleed. I'm certain from just our short year together that you're destined for a future that will take you as far as your dreams can imagine. Ava? I have another one. Okay. The next award for Math 11, I'm giving on behalf of Jean Graff. This award goes to Vedant Dopte. It's extremely difficult to choose a single winner for an award when there is such a large group of eligible and deserving candidates. This is both the privilege and burden I face when choosing the 11th grade math department winner this year. When the dust settled and it was time to make a choice, Vedant was the clear winner. What is easy to boast about Vedant are the tangibles. He never misses an assignment. He's maintained 100% average all year, and at one point I joked with him that I was going to have to go out of my way to make sure he didn't get a perfect score on every test and quiz. A little devious, I admit, but he made it look so easy. What's really remarkable are the immeasurables. Vedant's laser-like focus rivals that of any student I've ever known. In class, I've enjoyed watching him work through complex problems. It's as if you can see the gears turning in his head when he's locked in. Vedant also has a way of bringing new and fresh perspectives to class. Whether it is a completely different approach to a particular problem we're working on, or simply a thought-provoking question that steers us in an interesting class discussion, Vedant certainly has a unique way of thinking about mathematics. Vedant, I wholeheartedly look forward to spending another entire year exploring the wonder of mathematics with you. Congratulations.
This year's 2017 ninth grade Science Scholars Award goes to Nina Burden. Nina has consistently been an exceptional student. Since day one, Nina has shown determination, maturity, and kindness. She demonstrates determination in the way she never gives up until she has done her best. Her maturity is most evident when she discusses and asks deep and relevant questions about new content learned. And finally, her kindness is exhibited while she cooperatively works with others on classroom activities and ensures everyone's views and ideas are heard without judgment. Any teacher is blessed to have such a well-balanced student in their class because she continues to be she continues to be supportive in the classroom climate by maintaining positive relationships with her peers and continues to push herself to better understand topics in biology. I am honored to give Nina Burden this year's 9th grade Science Scholars Award.
This year, there were a handful of excellent students across the 4 honors chemistry classes that achieved near perfect scores, making this year's selection of the 2017 Chemistry Award quite difficult. However, the one student that has stood out to me from the beginning of the year until now for their exceptionally hard work and dedication is Rachel Enriquez. Come on up, Rachel. I am so honored to be giving Rachel this award this evening because I know that it's really going to mean something special to her. She is, without a doubt, one of the hardest working students I have had in a very long time, possibly ever. The work that she puts in is evident in the questions she asks, her work in class, and of course, her performance on exams. I have asked her sister, who I also have, on occasion how long Rachel spends working on chemistry, and she always says that Rachel spends a substantial amount of time with it, which just proves what a hardworking and conscientious student Rachel is. In addition to her academic achievement in my class, Rachel has to be one of the most genuine and kind students I have ever had. I have never once heard her utter anything remotely negative about anything. She is always a bright light of positivity during her first period chemistry class. It has been a true pleasure to teach Rachel this year, and I look forward to seeing her mature in her science knowledge throughout the rest of high school and beyond. Congratulations to Rachel for earning the 2017 Chemistry Award. I'm presenting the Physics Award on behalf of Mike Kishak. This is not the first time I am presenting an award at Scholars Night to this incredible young person. Last year, my chemistry colleague, that's me, couldn't make the event, so I filled in and read her speech, so now we're even. This year, I am writing my own speech for this year's Physics Award winner, Vedant Dapti. Come on. Many students this year were worthy of this award, but Vedant set himself apart by the way he performed in the classroom. He asked poignant questions and had a very quiet confidence about his work. Vedant is incredibly brilliant, but is equally just as humble. Students would look to him for his opinion when they didn't understand something, which is surely a sign that Vedant is a leader and someone his colleagues look up to. I'd like to thank Vedant for the opportunity to teach him physics this year, and I hope he continues to pursue physics down the road. Thank you.
Okay, this year's Environmental Science Scholars Award goes to Nick Alpeza. Come over there. From the beginning of the year, Nick has consistently demonstrated his possession of all the qualities that make a great environmental scientist and student: enthusiasm, humor, quantitative analysis skills, and a strong work ethic. First and most importantly, his enthusiasm for environmental science greatly benefited him as he came into class with prior knowledge of seemingly obscure topics like abandoned mines. However, I think Nick has realized that there really is no such thing as an obscure topic in environmental science, as we've covered things like what happens to the water when you flush a toilet? What do you do with a landfill once you put the cover on it? And how can a human body decay and eventually become crude oil? Second, Nick's sense of humor connected him with his classmates and helped him to effectively communicate his knowledge of environmental science with them. Third, Nick has a strong attention to detail and can effectively analyze and synthesize any data set presented to him regardless of the content. Finally, Nick's strong work ethic enabled him to achieve top marks on every single AP Environmental Science evaluation, and he never ever complained about the level of difficulty. I look forward to bragging about his future personal and professional achievements as he pursues a degree and career in environmental science. It was my pleasure to have Nick as a student and an honor to present him with the Environmental Science Award tonight. Congratulations. Here you go.
At this point, I would like to ask the following world language teachers to come forward to present the awards. Senora McWilliams, Senora Rivera, Senora Blanco, and Dr. Jane Conover.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jane Conover. This is my first year teaching at Northern Burlington, but I'm very honored and pleased to see a bunch of great students that are enjoying the Chinese class. I'm going to present the first ninth grade Department Achievement Awards on behalf of the other Chinese teacher, Joy Sun. Among all freshmen this year, there was one familiar face. I felt like I saw this student before and was not sure when. When he introduced himself, I knew that he was the little brother of a very hardworking student I had last year. The more I know this student, the more impressed I am with his whole family. His brother was hardworking and respectful. He is hardworking and respectful and smart with a unique sense of humor. He is Andrew Li, or should I call him by his Chinese name, Li Zhuhuan. Zhuhuan seizes every opportunity to learn. He takes notes of every little thing I say, even when other students zone out because I have told them it wasn't going to be on the test. I see a true passion for learning in Zhuhuan. I see a very organized, goal-oriented, respectful, and hardworking young scholar, and I look forward to teaching him more of the language next year. Unfortunately, Zhuhuan is not here, but I'm still very happy to present this to him on behalf of Joy Sun. The next one is the 10th grade Scholar Awards. Catherine Dicker. They say that actions speak louder than words. I met Catherine when she was a freshman in Level 2 Chinese, where she was consistently at the top of her class. Catherine is a student who is quiet, but always gets everything done beautifully. And when she opens her mouth, her Chinese tones are on point. Every time when I see Catherine's project poster or any other assignment, I see how hard she challenges herself to master each assignment and then take it to the next level with a little something extra. Catherine is always ready to learn, engaged in classroom activities, and pushing herself to do better. Catherine is not only hardworking and intelligent, she is also a very humble, sweet girl who gets along with everyone in the class. She never hesitates to help others, and she is the kind of student that makes good days even better. Catherine Dicker. Here comes mine, and I'm going to bring in another familiar name. Vadang Doctor. Vadang, you have been an outstanding student in my Chinese 4 class. Your persistence to achieve perfection amazes me. Your consistency to lead the Chinese 4 class as a model student with precision, devotion, as well as humbleness impressed me throughout the entire school year. When I named you Wentai in Chinese, remember? You asked me about the meaning. For me, that name reflects your personality, your traits, and your huge potential to be a great scholar. I congratulate you on your success here this evening, and I'm looking forward to hearing more greater news regarding your future endeavor. Congratulations.
Hi, I am here to present the French Language Awards on behalf of Madame Kim. The 9th grade French Language Award goes to Kisashi Sandy. Welcome aboard to Scholars Night, and welcome to our French family, where you made your learning infinite and beyond. I have never seen someone as keen and as observant and careful with the smallest details that I myself sometimes neglect to explain and point out. You always ask excellent questions, and then you go searching for the answers. You're an incredible asset to my French 2 class, and with your diligence, you present yourself as a role model to all your classmates. You have always been, are, and I am certain that you will remain an outstanding scholar for the future years to come. I hope to see you continue your French with us all the way up. Keep up the good work. The 10th grade French language goes to Catherine Millman Kenny, but she was not able to make it tonight. So we'll move on to the 11th grade French language award, and that goes to Madison Kaminsky. Oh, tiny handwriting again. Once again, we meet back here on this stage to brag about your high achievement in French. From the first day I met you, you were constantly engaged in the pursuits of learning day after day. Being an amazing scholar, you were never finished because you were always seeking for more. I admire your engagement and motivation during class discussions, and especially your cooperation with everyone. What I enjoy the most is your creativity in writing, which is the soul of a true scholar. I always look forward to reading your paragraphs and learning about you one chapter at a time. Your originality is also the essence of the true scholars, such as brilliant inventions you created for our technology unit, which consists of a tool that makes you read the mind of your pet and knows its needs by just pushing a few buttons. A job well done, and maybe one day you will win the patent for it. Finally, I have no doubt that you will continue to flourish and grow in this language because your continuous love, dedication, and daily efforts without never letting up.
It is my pleasure to be here tonight presenting the Spanish Award to a mature and responsible young man with outstanding organizational skill. One of his greatest qualities is his positive attitude. Every morning he comes to school with a smile on his face, ready to tackle the challenges of the day. He has demonstrated excellent qualities as a student and as a valuable member of his class. The students are given the opportunity to participate in various group activities where they need to show initiative and leadership qualities. He's one of those students that immediately assumes the leading role of his group and makes sure that the work is done well. He listens to everyone's point of view and validates their contributions. I am thankful that I had a chance to be his teacher and to be able to witness his passion for learning and his desire to better himself. These qualities are the reason why Rohan Bavankar deserved the 9th grade Spanish award. Thanks for being an excellent student.
Okay, good evening. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Okay. All right. I want Nicolina, please, over here. Nicolina, ven aquí. You're going to appreciate this because it's the shortest thing that you're going to hear today, okay? So it's going to be quick and sweet, hopefully. Okay. I'm going to talk to her directly because I know that she's going to appreciate what I did for her. Okay? It's very personal. Okay? Okay. This is an acrostic. This is the reason why. Right? Nicolina, no one is like you. And as your teacher, I can see, my gosh, sorry. I am privileged to have an intelligente, okay, and kind person that gives life to my class every day. Consciente, conscientious. In every task, I have challenged you. You are becoming a better Spanish learner and succeeded in all the time, okay? You have, okay, orgullosa, outstanding parents. Where are they? Okay? Outstanding parents, and you make them proud because of your lealtad, loyalty to your values, heritage, and cultural richness. Okay. Italiana. Italian may be your base, but Spanish will be one of the many languages I will see you speaking later on. Okay. Nicolina, nothing will stop you because you are passionate, responsible, and eager to learn anything in order to be better. It has been agradable, a pleasure having you in Spanish 3. Your kindness will shine in your future like a star. I know your possibilities will be endless because of your drive to work hard, persevere, and achieve any goal that you may set for yourself. You are amazing. Okay? All right? For you.
I have the pleasure of presenting the Spanish language 11th grade award to Maritza Mojena. I've had the pleasure of having Maritza Mojena as a junior in my AP Spanish language class. She possesses many of the traits we look for in a candidate for this award. She's hardworking, self-motivated, and self-disciplined. She's curious, creative, and independent. She's always happy, always willing to learn and help others. Marisa has great communication skills, both in Spanish and English. I'm always asking her questions. She can express herself very well in writing, so it has been a pleasure to read her weekly journals all year. She's a very good listener as well, and has great reading comprehension skills. She's observant and thoughtful, and she devotes herself to everything she does with the same energy and amazing attitude. She has been an absolute pleasure to have in my class, and I know she will have a fantastic senior year, and I'm confident that she will succeed in whatever she does.
Good evening. I am Matthew Conowitz, Director of Instruction for 21st Century Life and Career Skills and Visual and Performing Arts. Certainly very proud of the students here, but just as proud of the families, the parents that have done all of your hard work to get your academic students here. So congratulations to all of you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. Nan Hamilton, who will introduce and award the students in the Agri-Science program.
Good evening. Will the following students please come up? We're going to make this Anthony Varga, Olivia Ivanko, and Jamie Specca. Come on up. All right, so I'm going to have to put this. All right, so stand right here and then put Olivia right there. You know how to do this one. Okay. All right, good. What, you can't, no, we're not going to do it that way. Anyway, the 9th grade Agriculture Scholars Award is presented to Anthony Varga, right here. All right, this was done by Mr. DiNucci. Ooh. Okay, Anthony has been involved in agricultural classes and FFA meetings, workshops, and other activities since middle school. Anthony is currently enrolled in ag mechanics and small engine repair. Despite his involvement in many activities, he continues to demonstrate the discipline to prepare for his classes. This discipline has resulted in continual improvement of his grades throughout the year, allowing Anthony to have a successful transition into the high school. Anthony has also volunteered his time on Saturdays to assist in renovating our goat's pen. If there is a job to be done, Anthony is ready to lend a helping hand. Anthony has also participated in community service activities such as the chicken barbecues, where our FFA chapter assists in raising funds for the Chesterfield Hose Company. As an FFA advisor, I hope Anthony will continue to pursue future opportunities our department and the FFA can offer. His enthusiasm, dedication, and involvement are all appreciated, and I am glad for this opportunity to formally recognize Anthony Varga for these attributes with the 2017 Freshman Agriculture Scholar Award. Very nice. Thank you. All right. Next. All right. The 10th grade Agriculture Scholars Award is presented to Olivia Ivanko. All right. This award goes to an agriculture student who is passionate about the Northern Agriculture Program and loves FFA. She is dependable, has a great attitude, and isn't afraid to ask questions and pursue her ultimate task at hand. She has accomplished a lot in her time here at the high school. This year she placed first for team in the FFA evaluation at the Burlington County Farm Fair. She then went on to represent New Jersey at the FFA horse evaluation competition at the Big E, and she placed, the team placed 5th there, and then placed bronze for team at the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. This year she also placed first team on the agronomy CDE, 2nd place on the ag issues team, 2nd place on the turf management team, and 3rd place on the nursery landscape team. So great things in the future, because 2nd as a 10th grader is like, woo! This student is a great learner in advanced plant science. She has earned straight A's and is always helping others in the class succeed. Olivia is our FFA treasurer this year. This is the first year we have a complete treasurer's book going to the New Jersey State FFA Convention, which we'll go into tomorrow. I can't wait to see what she does next year. It is with great pleasure that I present Olivia Ivanko with the Sophomore Scholars Night Award in Agriculture. Oh boy. The 11th grade Agriculture Scholars Award is presented to Jamie Specca. This award goes to an agriculture student who loves agriculture and is passionate about the farm community and FFA. She has endless energy. She always has a smile, is quick to take on a new task, and is very dependable. This year, she came in first place on the FFA Parliamentary Procedure Team and represented New Jersey at the Big E in Springfield, Massachusetts, and also at the National FFA Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. She also came in first place for team and in agronomy, and also placed third place individual in agronomy. And also her entry in the FFA Horticultural Expo took first place, and that was for Jersey Fresh, yeah. She will be serving on the NOMCOM nomination committee at the New Jersey State FFA Convention as one of 6 FFA members in the state to choose the state FFA officers for 2017-2018, and that's a really very high honor. We haven't had too many students do that. She serves as our Northern FFA Vice President this year, and I can't wait to see what she accomplishes next year. It is with great pleasure that I present Jamie Specca with the Junior Scholars Night Award in Agriculture.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm sure you'll have a very successful next couple of days at the FFA State Convention. Special information was just forwarded to me. I understand that cake is available for those of you interested in the back corner of the room, but that's not to take away from this wonderful opportunity to introduce Dave Johnson. Dave Johnson will be representing the Applied Technology Materials and Applied Technology Engineering Awards. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to start with the engineering awards. Try calling up all 3, although one of you might not be here. Athira Ariath, Akansh Barty, and is Trevor Rossi here tonight? Did he make it? There was a volleyball game. All right, so we'll start with Athira. The 2 I'm going to read are on behalf of Mr. Chokotowski. The recipient of the 9th grade Applied Technology Engineering Award is Athira Arath. I met Athira this year as a student in my introductory engineering class. She had all the markings of an excellent student, attentive and ready to participate. It was obvious that she was excited for the opportunity to learn. Whether we are working in groups, independently, or taking notes, Athira is actively engaged and performing at the top of the class. We get to do a lot of fun, hands-on activities in engineering. This year we spent a week creating packing peanuts in a microwave, using them to save eggs from drops of 6 to 12 feet high. They actually got a little higher than that. We also do a lot of paperwork, which is arguably not as much fun. It is, however, central to the discipline and something that most students improve in over the course of multiple years. While I only expect her to improve in the future, the quality of Athira's work now is frankly outstanding. The first project write-ups she completed look like the examples I used for my second-year students. At this point, she's on track to get 100 for the year, but that grade still doesn't accurately represent her achievement. This award comes closer, and I am proud to present it to her. On behalf of Mr. The conch. The recipient for the 10th grade Applied Technology Engineering Award is Akansh Barty. I met Akansh this year as well, this time as a student in my second level engineering class. Even for students I've taught previously, the level of expectation for this class is sometimes a bit of an adjustment. The material is more difficult than the previous year, the pace is faster, and there's much more individual responsibility for understanding and applying concepts. Akansh handled all of these challenges with grace and ease. Akansh is a diligent student both during class and after. When an assignment requires extra effort or time, he puts it in. When he doesn't understand a topic, he gets extra help he needs to make sure he does. More importantly, when he thinks he does understand a topic, he confirms that understanding before proceeding down a potentially wrong path. His hard work and positive attitude have been noticed. I'm proud to present this award on behalf of Mr. Chokotowski. This one I wrote for Trevor. The 11th grade Applied Technology Engineering Scholars Award recipient is Trevor Rossi. I've had the privilege to have had Trevor as a student both in 8th grade and now in his junior year. In 8th grade, he was always on task and willing to help others, as well as excited for the hands-on projects that he was tasked with in Applied Technology class. I've not been let down this year. He has met my high expectations since his 8th grade year. He excelled in our challenging first-level engineering course. He is often helpful with other students, rarely gets frustrated, but is often trying to think of various ways to attack a problem. Trevor has grown into an extremely smart and polite young man who cares for those around him first. That's why I'm proud to present this award to Trevor Rossi. I have 3 more. So the Applied Technology Materials Awards are next. Can I call up Elijah Harris, Garrett Ballinger, and William Mason? I know at least Garrett's here. He's getting cake. Harris. This year's 9th grade Applied Technology Materials Scholars Award is presented to Elijah Harris. Although only a 9th grader, Elijah has lived in many places around the world and can tell quite a few interesting stories about each of those places. Most often, however, he eventually comes around to a story about his middle school shop classes while he lived in Utah. Those classes seem to have ignited a flame within Elijah, a flame that fuels his drive to build, to create, and to make. With Elijah, that desire to create soon elevates into building things bigger, faster, better. What truly sends Elijah to the top of our 9th grade roster is his ability to share his knowledge and skills with his classmates and to be the on-site technology coach when needed. Elijah is the kind of student that the classroom teacher can trust to assist an apprehensive classmate to use a machine or the completion of a process. From exposing a screen printing frame to laser engraving a unique material to boring holes with the drill press, Elijah Harris has been the student to be trusted to coax classmates along. His maturity, his willingness to aid others with complex tasks, and his enthusiastic demeanor have earned Elijah Harris this year's 9th grade award from Mr. Potts. Garrett? Oh, there's Garrett. Come on up, Garrett. I'll read while he's walking up. Garrett Ballinger has been selected as this year's 10th grade Applied Technology Materials Scholars Award. Mr. Potts wrote this one, by the way, but he's in pretty much all of our classes. Garrett has completed exemplary work this year in his metals class, his graphics class, and his engineering class. In addition to his regular classroom work, Garrett has also spent many hours between his class period and his lunch period working on a special project. He and another classmate have designed and built an oversized Connect 4 game measuring 7 feet long and 5.5 feet tall. This strategy game will serve students of Northern Burlington for years to come. Garrett and his classmate Josh Edwards engineered the construction of this game board from the ground up. All of the game pieces were designed, cut, and finished by these two gentlemen. When possible, Garrett also delegated other assignments to other classmates. Please take time tonight to ask Garrett what tools and machines he used during the production of this project. Presented on behalf of Mr. Potts. And And last but not least, Will Mesa. The 11th grade Applied Technology Materials Scholars Award is awarded to William Mesa. During a lifetime, the average teacher will have just around 5,000 students. With so many faces, personalities, and names, it's unlikely that anyone would look back over a lifetime and remember them all. Only a few students will stand out, whether for good reasons or bad. They will be remembered, and usually because of their loud personalities, jokes they told, the way they would explode through the classroom door, having far too much energy for 7 in the morning, saying, "I'm not late." That kind of thing. For many teachers here at Northern, William Mesa will be remembered, but for a unique reason. In a dignified, professional, and very adult-like way, Will enters the classroom, does his work, leaves the room quietly and without calling attention to himself. Not once in 2 years have I needed to tell him to complete an assignment or clean up after himself, or to get on task. He's already done his work. His tools are already put away. He's often busy helping another student the second he has a moment of free time. Will's legacy is that he was a student who taught himself, busy with whatever he needed to accomplish and then moving on to the next task, seemingly knowing what needed to be learned each day before stepping foot into the classroom. Thank you, Will, for being a model student, and good luck on your future career.
Well done, congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Eric Gibbons, who will be presenting the Arts Awards.
So art is often considered a peripheral class in some schools, but Northern recognizes the importance of a rigorous art program. We have been recognized at the state level as having one of the very best programs in New Jersey. On a side note, we checked with guidance to see how we were doing with our kids on the SATs, and they were averaging significantly higher because of our approach. Art teachers know that when we grid, measure, and draw, we use geometry. When we make sculptures, we use engineering. When we mix colors, we reveal information about physics. When we create illustrations for stories, we learn about literature. When we work with clay, we explore chemistry. When we review the styles of art from Da Vinci to Warhol, we teach history. When we create works of art, we solve complex visual problems in creative ways, because art is the meeting place of all of our subjects. I often joke with my students that you don't get 100 in art. You know, an art piece can't be perfect. I call it the unicorn grade, and I figure 4 times out of the year I give that to a student. 98, 99, that, you know, it's hard to get, but it can be achieved. And 2 of the students that I've nominated had an amazing field of unicorns this year, which prompted me, I got to get my butt up here and give this award myself. So I'm going to call up actually all 3. I'm reading one for one of our other teachers. But in 9th grade, Jessica Fell, 10th grade, Abigail Quinn, and 11th grade, Brett Morrow. Okay. Ooh, they're all here, great. Okay. So, 9th grade, Art Scholars Award is awarded to our current sculpture student, Jessica Fell. Demonstrating an exceptional skill and understanding of the course material is great, but she did more by throwing herself into her work and making personal connections with every project. She has the highest freshman grade average in all of my sculpture classes, but even higher than many of the seniors as well. Whether she decides to pursue art or not, the skills she has learned in sculpture, like creative problem solving, will help her succeed in whatever career path she chooses. It was a pleasure having her in my class. Jessica. You're welcome. All right. And Abigail. The 10th grade Art Scholars Award is awarded to a current Art 1 student, Abigail Quinn. She has attained the highest grade as in art as a sophomore. She remains focused, and her calm demeanor helps set a tone that influences others in a positive way. Her work has a professional feel way beyond her years, and should she choose, she would do well in an art-related career. I don't say that often. Usually art, we worry about what are we going to do with it. She's awesome. But as I said before, the skills that she learned in art, like creative problem solving, will help her succeed in whatever career path she chooses. It was a pleasure to have her in my class. All right, and Brett. I'm reading this for Mrs. Kirchner. The 11th grade Art Scholars Award is awarded to current ceramics student Brett Morrow. I'm not good at art, some students say. This was Brett's sophomore year as he hesitantly expressed that he was thinking about signing up for Mrs. Kirchner's ceramics class. Today, Brett is the highest achieving 11th grade student in art. Brett is an exceptional student inside and outside the ceramics room. He sets a high bar, challenges himself, and in the process of doing what he does, he finds the time to help others. He's a good role model for his peers and has had a positive impact on our school community. Mitch Kirchner has known Brett since he was the freshman class president for the class of 2018. His leadership skills shine. Brett is dependable, professional in everything he does. It is my honor to present Brett with his award. You're welcome. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the business department teachers. So I'll welcome Kathy McKay, Laura Nadolny, and Kim Ballinger.
Hi. The 9th grade Business Scholars Award goes to Megan Hemminghouse. Are you here, Megan? Come on up. There she comes. So as I reviewed all my grades for my 2 web design and animation classes, I had to choose a student who had the highest grade in both classes. And as a freshman, Megan had the highest freshman grade with a 100 throughout. And I kind of knew it was going to be Megan from the start. When I graded assignments, sometimes I would look at hers first, just like in the math department, because I knew it would be right, and so you look at it and then you judge everybody else's with that. As a freshman in mixed classes of 9 to 12, that's a pretty major accomplishment. Megan is meticulous with each and every assignment, testing to make sure her web page looked correct and that the animation is running the way it's supposed to. I often find her helping other students who sit next to her, and you know who that is, when she is done. Congratulations, and thank you for all your help this year. Good luck with next year and in the future. I look forward to watching you achieve many great things here at Northern over the next 3 years. Congratulations, Megan.
Good evening. The 10th grade business award is being awarded to Catherine Deeker. For her outstanding achievement in Marketing 1. In addition to her excellent grades, she has maintained a 100% average all year long. Catherine has demonstrated an excellent understanding of marketing, phenomenal time management skills, and quality work. It has truly been a pleasure to have her in class this year. Additionally, all marketing students are also DECA members. As a DECA member and officer, Catherine has been a true asset. As the DECA historian, she was very instrumental in helping us complete a chapter activity program manual, which achieved gold level at the DECA state competitive events. She is always ready and willing to help. We are extremely pleased to present the 2017 10th grade Business Award to Catherine Deeker.
Good evening. The 11th grade Business Scholars Award is awarded to Gabrielle Kenny. It is the exception that teachers see students that are able to connect concepts from all their course curriculum on their own.
Northern should be proud that this school choice student decided to join our community because she is absolutely one of those students that will be showcased for her work. She continues to increase her course variety and expand her knowledge, not only in the agricultural world, but also to learn the business industry to ensure that one day she can run a successful farming business. Gabby is actively involved in Northern's FAA chapter and is not stopping there. She has applied for state-level positions. That might be a curse. Sorry, Gabby. Gabby continually exceeds expectations in class. She accepts creative critiques on her classwork, and without direction, she modifies to demonstrate advanced proficiency. Gabby is the student that leads class discussions, challenges her classmates and myself as her teacher. She has demonstrated hard work, dedication, and a willingness to succeed expectations. Given the motivation and desire that Gabby exhibits, I know her future is bright. This award is to recognize her achievements for this year, but believe me, it's just the start for her. It is with pleasure that I present this award to Gabby Kenny. Continue to be great.
Wow. I can't wait to see where all these students end up in a couple of years. Very exciting. It is now my pleasure to reintroduce the voice of David Taylor. He will be presenting the both instrumental and vocal music awards.
Wow, I'm the voice. Do you want me to sing or something? I would like to invite up, I'm going to do the instrumental awards for reading for Mr. Sean Linder. I would like to invite up the three recipients, Crystal Kim, Vani Singh, and Daniel Gonzalez. Please come up. I'm going to start with the ninth grade award. Crystal, as the recipient of this year's ninth grade award, she is an outstanding member of the NBC High School Band Program. She has continually set an example of dedication and high level of musicianship for her peers. In just her first year at the high school, she has been a key member of both the symphonic band, the marching band, and the jazz ensemble on saxophone. I am proud to honor this year's freshman recipient of the Instrumental Music Award to Crystal Kim. Congratulations, Crystal. I want to say also Crystal was a member of the musical this year and did a fantastic job. Thank you, Crystal. Vani is, of course, an outstanding member of the NBC High School Band Program. She has a significant impact on the band program during her first 2 years here at Northern Burlington High School. As first tenor saxophone in the jazz ensemble, she played an integral part of the group's success. I am proud to honor this year's 10th grade recipient of the Instrumental Department Award to Vani Singh. Congratulations. This year's award, of course, is Danny Gonzalez. Danny has a significant impact on the band program as a bari sax player in the jazz ensemble, wind ensemble, and the marching band. He has contributed to the success of all three groups. He has distinguished himself through hard work and commitment to music. This year's 11th grade recipient of the Instrumental Music Department Award is Danny Gonzalez. Before he goes, thank you for all of your hard work with the musical also, working on sound. And Vani also played clarinet with our musical this year. So thank you to all three. I would like to invite up our three choral music awards. I was just told, I believe that Isaiah is not here. I'm going to invite up to the board, to the stage, Grace Quackenboss for 9th grade and David Hartway for 10th grade. Come on up. Isaiah, are you here? No. He doesn't get it then. Just kidding. Stay there, Isaiah. Stay there. Go. It's going to fall. Grace is without a doubt one of the most promising and talented young singers that I have ever had in my years at Northern Burlington. Her ability to sing in tune, in fact, she gave us our tuning note tonight. Did you notice that? It was cool. Is unlike anything that I've had in my career. This past April, some of you may have seen her playing the part of Little Red in this year's spring musical, Into the Woods. She was perfect for the role and did a fabulous job. Her list of accomplishments in her first year at NBC include the All-South Jersey Choir in January. In her first try, in her first try at All-State Choir, she was in 10th place in the state as a freshman. And wait, there's more. Grace is also an accomplished pianist and has been playing for almost her entire life. She accompanied our choir at the holiday concert and sounded like a professional already. Thanks for your talent and being such an important part of our music program so far this year. Thank you, Grace. Thank you very much. Our 10th grade recipient for the choral award is, of course, David. David is such a great young man. He's kind, he's polite, he's always wanting to improve his talent for himself and of those around him. He wears so many hats that I don't know how he even keeps himself awake. Marching band, chorale, indoor guard, and this past April was the baker in his first spring musical at NBC, Into the Woods. The past 2 years, David was selected into the All-South Jersey Chorus and was also a member last fall of the New Jersey All-State Chorus. I have had a lot of talented sophomores that I could have chosen for this award, but none of them have stood out the way that has the dedication that David has had for the performing arts. He literally is a member of almost every possible performing art groups at NBC. David, thank you for all that you do to make NBC Performing Arts shine like it's never shined before. Thank you, David. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Even though Isaiah is not here, we are going to read his award. Isaiah, he is here? No. Okay. Isaiah came to us last year in the middle of the year and was such a great addition to our program. He sang in our chorale and was a part of our spring musical, singing his first solo in fiddler as a sophomore. Last spring, Isaiah auditioned for the All-State Choir and was second overall in his score for the state, which also made him eligible for All Eastern Chorus, which he performed in this past April in Atlantic City. This past April, Isaiah was the lead of Jack in our spring musical Into the Woods. What a tremendous talent he is, and we are very blessed to have him. This past spring also, he was elected to go to the state festival to sing as a soloist in singing You Raise Me Up. Isaiah, thank you for all that you do to make our choir as good as it is. You are such a tremendous talent, and it is my privilege to say that I get to teach you each and every day. Thank you, Isaiah.
Thank you very much. Those speeches had great rhythm. It is now my pleasure to introduce Jennifer Huckleberry, who will be presenting our theater awards tonight.
Hello, everyone. The 9th Grade Theater Scholars Award is presented to Toby Wilderotter. Where you at, Toby? Yes, you have to come up here. Nothing is more delightful for a theater teacher than a student who gives 100% from day one. Working with new directors is often difficult for some students because they are used to their former director's style. This was never an issue for Toby. He was eager to learn new acting skills and always took direction with grace. He experimented with each of his characters in class and always went above and beyond what was asked of him. If this is how he is as a freshman, I am very excited to have him as he grows in the future. Toby, thank you so much for setting a great example for all of my students. I'm really excited for my future with you. The 10th Grade Theater Scholars Award is presented to Jillian McNabb. I say this, and I really mean this. You want to see a future Broadway star right there. There she is, walking up in between you, right there. Jillian has a powerhouse of a voice, and seeing her combine that with her ever-growing acting abilities has set her on the path for greatness. One would expect someone with her talent to easily be full of herself, but Jillian is one of the sweetest students you will ever meet. Her laugh is infectious, and her bubbly personality is endearing. I feel spoiled that she's only a sophomore, and that I get to see her to continue to grow as a performer over the next 2 years. As long as she remembers to stay open to the audience, yep, good. Then she will continue to impress all of our audiences, especially me. The 11th Grade Theater Scholars Award is presented to Charles Hermisman. I will never forget our conversation about being a part of my theater arts class. I can't recall it word for word, but you said something along the lines of you are glad that I actually challenged my students because you expected this class to be really easy since you already know how to act from fall play and musical. Any other person may have taken that as an insult, but I knew what you meant, and I was thankful that you did feel challenged in my class. I also appreciate how you were adamant about getting a 100 on a performance because you know that that's not something I give out very often. So thank you for having that, Joel. He's almost there. You have a very natural air in your acting abilities, and it was great seeing you challenge yourself by exploring characters outside of your comfort zone this year. Even though you arrived with great acting skills, it was such a pleasure to see you grow as a performer and as a person this year.
I now introduce to you from the Northern Television Production Desk, Matthew Pona to present the Video Production Awards.
All right. Congratulations, I'm the last one. I'm about to read this like it's a livestock auction. Let's bring all three of you up here because I like making you uncomfortable. Brianna Murphy, Brittany Hope, and Juliet Skelza. So our 9th grade Video Production Scholars Award is awarded to Brianna Murphy, otherwise known as Camera 2. Brittany showed a great work ethic and not just trying to do her best, but also always trying to be the best. She's shown a tremendous diligence in production and storytelling. From her video work at home to her direction and editing in class, her videos were very often chosen as best produced in her class. She also has a great sense of humor. Congratulations, Brianna, for all of your hard work this year, and thank you for being such a pleasure to teach. Hopefully we played a small part in helping inspire you to pursue a future as a videographer for the military. And that's from Mr. Dowd. Congratulations. All right. The 10th grade Video Production Scholars Award is presented to Brittany Hope. I've had the opportunity to get to know Brittany from her participation in our studio and her commitment to our extracurricular productions. What I've learned in the past several years as a result of our interaction is that she's talented, hardworking, committed, and dedicated to learning everything she can about production. She has a passion for the art of filmmaking and has become one of our most reliable and resourceful student producers. She's been involved in almost every project we've done this year and takes time out of her day to make our lives easier. On top of that, she's a truly kind, caring, and compassionate person who is extremely pleasant to be around. We're thrilled to have her back again next year and look forward to seeing what she is able to accomplish throughout the remainder of her high school career. Congratulations, Brittany. It's always a Skelza. It's always a Skelza. You guys did a pretty good job with these kids, I gotta say. All right. The 11th grade Video Production Award is awarded to Juliet Skelza. Juliet, or Mitch as she has come to be known around the studio, comes from a long line of talented video producers. Well, perhaps a rather short line of talented video producers, as that line only includes her older brother. Anyway, over the past 3 years, Mitch has evolved to become an integral part of our production team. She is our go-to director for live events, a talented screenwriter, a skilled editor, and an all-around cool person. I personally have enjoyed having her as a driving force in my Video Production 3 class, always striving to achieve at a high level and never resting on her laurels. Having now completed all 3 levels of video production at Northern, she will function as a Silk next year, assisting younger students potentially to reach the same status she has attained. It's been a pleasure getting to know her, and I'm excited to witness her further accomplishments. Congratulations.
When you said the thing about director, Bing went on the back.
Mr. Bennett. Thank you, guys.
Good evening. Last but not least, I'm Brandon Bennett, Director of Instruction for Health and Physical Education, and I'd like to introduce Ms. Shannon Lawyer on behalf of the department.
Hi, everyone. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is I'm the final speaker. The bad news is you have to listen to me give all 3 speeches. I apologize. I will be presenting the 9th grade Health and PE Award, and then I'll be presenting the 10th and 11th grade PE Award for 2 of my colleagues. So first up, the 9th grade Health and PE Honors Award goes to Madison Sheets. Madison is not only a scholar in the classroom, but out of the classroom as well. She succeeds in all areas, on and off the field. And what is even more impressive is she makes it look easy. On the field, she succeeds in 2 sports, field hockey and softball. She has even made varsity as a freshman for softball, who's having a very successful season, and she has fought for a starting position. She actually, unfortunately, suffered a debilitating concussion early in the season and has fought her way back and proven herself. In the gym is where I first witnessed that arm of hers. Put it this way, you wouldn't want to be behind a ball that she's thrown. In activities in class, I would call her clutch because she would always come up big for important plays. Off the field, Madison is also a stud in the classroom. Not to throw around a bunch of numbers or divulge too much, but I'm going to. On physical and written exams in PE, she earned all 100s. In health, between all the projects, tests, and even my notorious nutrition exam, she has still maintained a 100 average. She has the highest average in PE and health combined out of all 150 freshmen I teach. Wow, that's just some numbers. Despite the percentages and accolades, though, what's even more important is Madison remains a humble learner. She truly is just a joy to have in the classroom. She's polite and always says hello and have a nice day when leaving the class. She's conscientious of her work and takes accountability when she is absent, aka I don't have to chase her down. She responds to questions in a thoughtful way and asks them at appropriate times. She's easy to talk to and is respectful of her teachers and peers. Madison, thank you for being that kind of student for me this year. Good luck in your upcoming years. I know your future is bright. I will be presenting the 10th grade Health and Physical Education Award for Mr. Chris Matthews. And it is with great pleasure that I announce Trevor Jones as the 10th grade Health and Physical Education Scholar Night recipient. I have truly enjoyed teaching Trevor this year in the classroom and the gymnasium. He consistently exhibits the fine qualities of an outstanding student and athlete. In a time when students would rather be looking at their phones and playing games instead of working out, Trevor has always wanted to participate and is eager to ask what activity is planned for the day. He always has a smile on his face and is happy to give his best effort. His sense of humor and his relationship with his peers makes his class period enjoyable to teach. Trevor is enthusiastic and willing to take on new challenges. He strives for excellence in everything he does. He is part of the Gifted and Talented program at Northern, and he would often be studying with his classmates for chemistry when time allowed at the beginning or end of class. Besides being an exceptional student and athlete, Trevor is a fantastic young man. He is polite
and courteous to the faculty, and he cares about other students. I can always count on Trevor to assist in class with equipment or setting up a field. He is the type of student that makes teaching an enjoyable profession. It is again a pleasure to present to you this year's winner of the 10th grade Health and Physical Education Award to Trevor Jones. And I can say that I had Trevor in 9th grade Health and PE, and I have very fond memories of Trevor in my class, so I can attest to everything to Mr. Matthews has written up here. So congratulations, Trevor. And last but not least, on behalf of Mrs. Michelle Refrano, I will be presenting the 11th grade PE and Health Scholars Award to Ms. Jacqueline Serrano. The student who will be receiving the 11th grade PE Scholars Award tonight currently holds a 100 in the class for the year. While most students have a few days during the school year that they either forget to bring their gym clothes or are not feeling up to participating in class, this student impressively has not been unprepared for class a single day this year. On top of dressing out for class consistently, this student is an absolute pleasure to have in class. It doesn't matter what activity we are doing, from running the mile for fitness testing in the fall, to playing Austrian table tennis in the winter, to playing slow pitch softball in the spring. This student will give it their all day in and day out. I've actually overheard the other students in the class joke, "Is there anything that you're not good at?" Well, it's not that every sport activity comes naturally to the student, but they have a work ethic that is just absolutely mesmerizing. They have the focus and drive from within to better themselves every day they come to class. In addition to having this student in class, I've also had the pleasure of coaching her in softball. This year, we needed someone to fill in a catcher's position, which is one of the more difficult positions on the field to learn. We asked her if she would be willing to try, and she has enthusiastically taken over the role. She puts in the time and the effort and has transformed into an amazing catcher right before our eyes. Lastly, this student is one of the nicest young ladies that I have ever come to know during my 10 years at Northern Burlington. In fact, she is so nice that one of our biggest rival teams this year started a hashtag on Twitter to find her just to track her down and thank her for being so nice to them. It is a pleasure on behalf of Mrs. Refrano to present this year's PE Scholars Award to Jackie Jack Attack Serrano.
That's almost it. Before we conclude this evening, I would also like to publicly recognize Mr. David Taylor, who not only is a fabulous choral director this year, he served as our Educational Leader of the Year. So if we could give him a round of applause. And I'd like to thank you all very much for attending this evening. I know it's a long evening, but it's so important to recognize all of our scholars because it's so well deserved. When you came in this evening, you will have received a program, a gray program. On your way out, you will be able to pick up a blue one, and that has all of the award winners' names. So please make sure that you pick one of those up on your way out. Have a safe drive home, and again, thank you for coming.